We're just trying to make it work. It's got a chip in it, apparently. We had chips for lunch.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a beautiful place in Pembroke, a retreat, and it's got a lovely fountain outside, beautiful views. There's Jackie doing his qigong outside early in the morning. He's a brilliant example of a man who really practices. And I've been thinking about the Kabbalah, and it was brought on by somebody making some rather sneering comment about Madonna's Kabbalah. And I thought, it's interesting how we try to protect and make esoteric our spiritual paths. And the Kabbalah is a deeply mystical and profound set of teachings, and it involves, certain aspects of it involve a lot of study into the Torah and the Talmud, the Jewish alphabet is sort of allied to numbers and meanings, and it takes a great deal of study to understand that, and it's very beautiful. I don't pretend to know anything very much about that, but I understand that it exists. But there are other aspects of the Kabbalah that are more accessible. Some of the teachings are very profound. It's always considered that you shouldn't be taught this material until you're 40, because you need to have some spiritual background and experience, which makes sense. And a lot of spiritual material comes with a caveat that it is open to abuse and misunderstanding, and that's true of all spiritual developments and paths, I think. But Madonna is a powerful, intelligent woman who's lived in the world a lot and seen a lot. She's had her successes, she's had her failures. This is a woman who is substantial enough to be able to take on subjects like the Kabbalah and maybe bring something slightly different. The Kabbalah has been very largely, from my understanding, worked at, if you like, with the sword and the lance of perception, the sword that cuts through to the truth, the lance that pierces to the truth. What we haven't really had a lot of input in the West is the cup and the dish. They've been slightly sidelined and looked upon as less effective, as less powerful, because they just hold and they just are. They don't do in quite the same way as the sword and the lance. And they're brilliant images, actually, for how we behave in the world. And I think that it's time for the cup and the sword and the cup and the dish to take their place alongside the sword and the lance. It's not necessary to have one or the other of any of these four things. They're all necessary. We need, the dish is open, and whereas the cup is contained, and that the openness of the dish is almost more incomprehensible to me than the contained quality of the cup, which is and holds and maintains. The dish is kind of open and vulnerable, if you like. And I think that those images to bring into the spiritual path, certainly in the West, is what we need. As I say, not denying the value of the sword and the lance, but bringing them into perspective with, and not the feminine side of this activity being denigrated and dismissed and patronised, which I think is a tendency and a danger.